Hey Libra, it's Angela. How you doing? We're here to do your November soul guidance reading for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And anyone else that feels themselves drawn to this video, that means our energies are aligned and the message is here for you as well. I have a few housekeeping things to go over really quick. I've added a playlist to my channel. It's called Weekly Intention Readings, and this is a collection of general collective readings that we create every Monday in a group called Pause at the Well. It's an intention setting group. We gather every Monday. It's a free group if any of you want to join it. I'll put the link to it in this video so you can be guided there whenever you want, but it's an opportunity to, get in touch with your soul, and it's a half an hour, I think, every Monday. But we also record the session, or we record the reading portion of the session, and those are posted in my playlist. So I do it in collaboration with a woman named Mellano, and her company is called Integral Bloom, and we're also co-creating a vision course that's called Bloom Your Vision. That will be a 7-session course that you can sign up for. It is a paid course, and it does last. It starts in November in a couple weeks and lasts through January. We take a couple weeks off for the holidays, but it's really nice. It's a deep dive into your soul's desires, and we'll first sort of do a recap of what's been accomplished this year, and then we'll start to dig in and do the work toward blooming your vision for 2023. And at the final session where we meet, we'll be making vision boards. These are 7 live sessions. There's 2 3-hour sessions at the beginning and the end, and then half-hour sessions in between. But it's not necessary to attend them. It's more fun because I'll be doing live readings there. But we'll also be able to send you recordings, and you could do the work on your own. There's a whole workbook that goes with it, a sort of a companion journal that we have created that you can sort of self-pace yourself through this course. It's a great course. And then the last thing is join my newsletter at groundeddreamers.com and sort of be in that group that's going to be the first to know as I start to develop my other activities on my website. The readings here will continue, and it will work in conjunction. There's going to be stuff added here, obviously, as the site grows too. So I think that should do it. All of this information will be in this video and the notes down below. So check it out. Okay, we're going to move on to your reading now, Libra. And the deck that we're using is Messages from the Mermaids. It's a little bit shiny, so I don't know if you see that, but it's a great deck with these very, simple guidance messages that come through in these cards. And the card I pulled for you, Libra, sorry, I almost said Leo, is discernment. This is like, to me, this is you, Libra. You are discernment. You want to weigh things out before making a decision or before making any judgment. Hold on, I'm going to try to brighten this light a little. I think that helps. Got dark for a minute. This is you. Discernment is Libra. So I love that I pulled this for you. This could be time to sort of come back to remind yourself who you are. But Libras, you're about creating balance and harmony and making sure that you weigh and consider things well before jumping in and making decisions. And you want, both sides of the scale, or everybody involved, to at least have the closest to the highest outcome for everyone. You're always considering the full weight, the full weight of any decision, and making sure that you've determined its best outcome. So I love it. No quick judgments, and when it comes to making decisions, you do take your time. So I love this. Maybe this is a reminder. We'll see with the Zen spread. It could be a reminder to you to return to your ways. Maybe you've gone off course. Maybe there's been a little indecisiveness going on. We're not sure yet, but let's find out. Okay, let's get down here to the Zen spread. We're doing the tree spread, which is that spread I made up, and I do it every time. I really like the way it progresses because it has this through line of, you know, the trunk and from root to top. That is the progression itself, but then also we have internal and external energies that apply to it that move it along as well, and sort of give you a fuller picture of what's going on. The lower set of branches here on this tree is your starting point. Then we move down to the trunk, or, you know, where we root, and that promotes growth and moves us to a higher level of higher level of awareness there. So let's start, okay? As it pertains to discernment, Libra, the creator. So your starting point is your acknowledgement that you are the creator of your experience, and you get to determine when to move, how quickly to move, you know, what information to consider. I love it because, you know, when we talk about the creating our own experience, you know, I know a lot of people that have said, and even myself, when I first kind of started exploring this concept, that everything that happens in my life is a result of what I created, there would be some resistance. I would feel, you know, no, how could I have created, you know, this horrible job I'm in, or how could I have created this car accident I just got into, right? Well, the things that are happening in life are not the things you're creating. What you're creating is the quality of that experience, how you respond to it, how you show up for it, what you put your attention on, and what you choose not to, right? The car accident's going to happen, but are you going to sit there and wallow and say, oh my God, that was the worst car accident I've ever, I can't even believe I'm never going to drive a car again, you know, or are you going to respond to this car accident like, oh, whoops, bad timing, things happen, bunch of metal just got destroyed, let me move on, right? There, it's how you show up for it. That's what you're creating, is the quality of your experience in response to the things that life and the universe throw your way. So this realization here is a solid start for you, especially as it pertains to, you know, your true nature, which is to weigh things out, make sure I'm expressing myself, and make sure I'm taking steps toward the highest quality experience possible. And that's the nature of who you are. It's perfect. I love this. Okay. Internally, this energy, the vibration that supports this knowledge that you are the creator of your experience, Libra, is projections. So within you, you have a sense that others expect different things from you, that sometimes you show up with different expectations than you normally would onto others, right? You put your expectations onto them and they put them onto you. But then what you have is no clarity between you, because it's not using discernment. It's not taking into account the other's needs or how yours can weave in with theirs. So this is interesting because it came in your inner, internal side of this reading, of this card. And so this is really, this doesn't mean that in your world there's projections and you're, you know, putting your expectations on others and they on you, and there's just no way out. That's not what this means. This is an inner awareness of it. This is your sort of signal that when this stuff arises, you put your discernment into practice, right? This is beautiful. This is like an inner sort of GPS toward more, you know, speedy resolving of conflict and problems as they arise. So, you know, your ability, like I said, to weigh and consider all the factors sometimes stems from this feeling of being put upon by others, of someone expecting something of you that you're not ready to deliver, or the other way around. And when that feeling, because this card is an emotion, this is a water card in the Zen Tarot. It's kind of like the cups in traditional tarot. And it has to do with your feelings and how you feel about things and how people feel about you and you about them. But when it comes to your true nature, you also utilize your mental clarity and your your mind's power. You utilize that as well. So sometimes some of the need to bring the discernment into the picture is triggered by feelings that are coming out, like that are maybe below the surface within you. But I love it because it's sort of your little signal. I am creating every response and every state of being that I'm in. When somebody else's expectations come into the picture and throw themselves onto me, first of all, I feel uncomfortable. When that discomfort comes, it's time for me to practice my discernment. It's time for me to bring out my scales and weigh it all out. I don't have to fall into this trap of the expectations that I put on others or others put on me. I can know it's there and shift right away. And that's how you're creating the quality of your experience, by that awareness to it. In the external world, the combination of those energies results in this card called conditioning. This is basically when you're presented with somebody else's expectation, or this is how it should be and you shouldn't do it like that or whatever. When you're moving toward your deciding phase and working on the considering all angles, you're also being called to see it for what it is. Whether or not it feels a certain way in the external condition, in the external world, see it for what it is. This is that story of the lion who was conditioned to believe. He grew up as a baby with all the sheep, and he was conditioned to believe he was white and fluffy like the sheep. And when he stopped to take a drink in the pond and he saw a lion looking back, it freaked him out a little bit. Like, oh my gosh, this is what people see? Like, this is not who I am, right? Although then it gave him the opportunity to sort of incorporate, that reality into his life too. We can become conditioned to believe things over time, throughout our life, and then something could come along and jar that a little bit. And that helps us gain clarity, right? So I like this because it's asking you to consider, people maybe put themselves upon you, or maybe you get that little trigger within you that you go, this isn't turning the way I thought it would. This is, I'm not, I'm not in balance here when it comes to what others need from me or what I need from the universe. But when I get into open light and open air, and I can see things clearly, I see them for what they are. Then I have all the components that I need to weigh everything out and make decisions. So I love it. There's a whole practice here for you that avoids the cloudy, foggy, veiled moments, and the discernment becomes much more smooth. Now we move on to this card. This is the sort of trunk of the tree, and that's the key to the growth. It's the key to moving forward. And we got maturity. So this is wonderful, Libra. It's like as time goes on, you know yourself better and better, right? And you bring your wisdom with you into each new interaction and each new experience and each new situation that you are being called to decide upon, whatever that is. Sometimes the discernment vibration is necessary when maybe we're unearthing some stuff that we want to bring out and share with others, and we want to make sure we sort of carefully express. Maybe this is something that's deep and heavy and others may not react well to, but finding the the optimum way to express some of this maybe hidden stuff that you want to bring up and out. It's kind of your magic sauce, you know the smoothest way to bring up subjects that are maybe sore subjects with others. And your maturity in that wisdom card comes in handy when it comes to navigating some of those things, some of those, maybe unwelcome ideas or experiences or feelings that you have that you want to bring up and express out to others. And the other way around, if somebody has something they want to share, you can be that open space that people can safely share sore subjects with, right? Because you carry that sense of balance, you carry the scales that keeps everything weighed. And now with your maturity on board and your life wisdom, you're an even better prospect for others to come and share their deepest secrets with. Okay, so let's move back down. Now we're moving to this next level. So we've sort of mastered this process of knowing that we can create how we show up when things get a little rocky and expectations arise. We can find a way to bring out our scales and see it for what it is, and find a wise way to proceed through this. Now we land at a higher perspective here. We get to this elevated sense of applying ourselves to it. And the card we got was rebirth. I love this. This, knowing you're creating your experience, using your maturity and wisdom results in your rebirth, in a new phase of yourself, a new version, Libra 2.0. And you get to now carry all these workings and your scale, right, with you as you move to a higher consciousness. And now you're vibing on a higher level, and those around you can follow and gain wisdom from you, or also participate with you on this higher vibe, on this sort of higher level of awareness. It's wonderful. You're there. You're there. This is also a mental energy. It's called the clouds in the Zen spread, in the Zen Tarot. I think it's like the swords in traditional tarot. And since you are an air sign, it's you. It's Libra reborn. And from a mental perspective, right? You get to see things from a higher vantage point now, because you've done this work. You've used your discernment, and you get to now enjoy the fruits of that work. Internally, as it relates to this sense of rebirth, we have another mental energy here, and that is control. So there may be some issues sometimes, depending on what the situation is, and how frustrating it may feel. Remember, this is internally. So this doesn't mean that you need to exert control over situations or over others, or you lose control. This is just an internal awareness of where those spaces are within you that get a little triggered when it comes to the issue of control. The nature of who you are, that well-balanced, carefully weighed decision maker, doesn't really play around with controlling others. You don't really play around with that, but you are human. And so there could be, and depending on what else is in your chart as well, you could have some tendencies to really kind of grip and, I've got to have it done this way. It's got to be done this way. This is my, my way or the highway kind of a vibration. But I feel like, because this is next to the rebirth card in this elevated space here on this higher set of branches, the position it is in the spread just means be aware of where your control issues may get triggered. Just be aware of it. And then you revert right back to your balanced approach. It's fine. This is kind of, and sometimes when we're doing these readings, we're in this higher level of awareness, and whatever is going on within us may revert us back down a level. Let's get back to the drawing board and let's reshore up these aspects of me that I know are going to be my path back up to this higher vibrational level. So it's just like an awareness, because it is the internal position. So it's not a major issue, but it is having an awareness of where that control stuff is triggered for you, and then how to proceed forward. And the outcome, or the actual result of these energies being in higher awareness and starting a new phase of approaching things, and then maybe getting triggered by control issues, is beyond illusion. So the need for control is a moot point, because we may think we're going to control something in this moment, but the universe has other plans. It's already transforming your situation. This is a card of intuition, but it's a card of metamorphosis as well. What we believe is going to be the outcome isn't always the case. We have to also incorporate, the universal information that is provided to us in the situation. We don't, it isn't like growing our soul is a, 1, 2, 3, there's a manual for it, right? It's not like that. We're moving, using our intuition or our discernment and finding the growth. And then sometimes we have a setback, and sometimes, the need for control kind of grips us, but always knowing that we're continually transforming and we're continually on our way to better. That's where our growth can really take hold and gain some momentum. But along the way, using your wisdom and your balanced approach, which you're famous for, Libra, is really going to be the key. And I just love it. Now, because we're doing this as a November reading, this could just be a refresher, just a reminder of who you are. Or it could be that you've been in situations lately where you've felt a little muddled, and the indecisiveness has kind of taken over, maybe because of that control issue. But you have it. You have what it takes to move yourself through any situation with a sense of fairness and balance and harmony. Okay, I'm going to pull a little bonus card for you now, Libra, and see what the universe wants you to know. This is coming from the Sacred Creator's Oracle. And the card I pulled for you, interesting enough, being an air card and a card of the mind, overthinking can spoil the magic. I love it. So use your discernment, but not too much. Also use your intuition. Also use your feelings, right? The discernment comes as sort of a practical way to move through conflict or problems. But you can also be guided by other aspects of your being, which are your intuition, your feelings, your heart, your connection to the divine. So I love it. So use your discernment, but don't overthink it. That's the key. I love it. Okay, Libra, thank you guys so much for being here. I'll be back again soon, and I hope you enjoy the beginning of your November here. Okay, bye.